Groundhog Day on the Staffordshire-Worcestershire Canal. As per yesterday, first cast before I could even get the tripod set up, the float disappears and I've got a perch on the bank. As I said 24 hours ago, at least I'm not a blanker. The same applies this evening. I've had a nice easy day today. Well, to be honest, they're all nice and easy. Went shopping to Morrison's in Kingswinford, and in with the bread, the milk and the tins of food. Some of these, 2 packets to be precise, destined for my bait freezer, with one of them with me this evening, and I'd already got a half full, not half empty, half full. Is your glass empty or full? I don't know, but my prawn bag was half full. A half full pack from a previous session. That has gone into the brown crumb mix. I've got some out there to throw in by hand, depending on how the session develops. Of course, that's always important when it comes to feeding. And these are in an insulated bag with an ice block. So by the time they get home, unless they've been used, which would be nice, of course, if they are untouched, or even if they're only slightly used, only used a few of them, they'll go back into the freezer for next time. I'm watching that float now. I will be back with a perch. Could catch bream or roach, but size 8 hook. Inevitably, you do tend to separate the fish with the smaller mouths from the perch. Always a flask of tea on these sit-down sessions, slightly shorter than my previous ones, only by half an hour though, so 2.5 instead of 3 hours on the bank, because I've been to collect my granddaughter from Cradley Heath, and she stays with us for the weekend. Take her back again on Sunday. She's now at home with my wife and dog. She loves our dog, Billwin. And I think he loves her. Well, he does. He loves her as well. They become part of the family, don't they? Dogs, that is, not just grandchildren. I just sent my friend, The Curse, a message telling him where I am. He sometimes pops down when that's the case, but he is out tonight with someone else. But he's within 1.5 miles maybe of where I am. So he did say that he could possibly have an effect upon my fishing. And then I got a message, the float disappeared, and I just got a message at the same time which said, I hope you catch, and lo and behold, I've just got a perch in the net. So maybe, just maybe, the curse has become a blessing. Not a big perch, but when you're talking about the curse, usually it's a kiss of death, not the kiss of life. The float sails away. It's another perch. Don't need the landing net for this one. Just a tiny fish. In fact, I don't even need the forceps. The strike was perfect. Hooked cleanly in the edge of the mouth there. Fish number 3. Another one on the bank. A small perch again. Well, smallish. But I always feel that there's a great sense of achievement when you use a very focused bait such as prawn. It's very overcast, very grey, so I think it's going to be darker than normal this evening. Therefore, let me show my setup while it's still light. There's the bait on a size 8 hook, about 3 inches away. I've got the anchor shot. Don't really need it tonight because it's absolutely still, no movement at all on the canal, but it's there anyway, and it's the same setup as I was fishing with yesterday and the day before. There's the float. It's a Drennan Waggler, 1.2 grams. I love Drennan floats like I do Drennan Super Specialist hooks, and I'm of the opinion, I'm just about to cast out again, I'm in the boat channel but towards the far side of it. I'm of the opinion if something isn't broken, don't try and fix it. As far as the aforementioned floats and hooks are concerned, they are definitely in that category. Another perch, not particularly big either, but I do feel there's always something special when you catch a fish by design. Right at the end of the session, it started to rain. Fantastic, not only from an angling perspective, because the brooks, the streams and the rivers especially need a drop of the wet stuff, but also as a keen gardener, it's nice to see rain falling from heaven. My begonias, petunias, hydrangeas and French marigolds will all be very, very happy this evening. And so will my wife, because she won't have to do any watering. I've just got home, I've got my pyjamas on, and there's my granddaughter Naya. What are you watching on television?
I'm watching your videos.
It's Chris Jones.
I've had one or two.
Hello, Chris.
Because they used to be when I was a kid. My very first fish was a gudgeon.
Yeah, well, I think mine was a good actually.